Hello and welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the pre-show for performances 2 and 3 here at the 93rd Annual San Angelo Rodeo. I'm your host, Ryan Chadwick, and joining me is my lovely co-host, Tessa Koskovich. Tessa, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, Ryan. I'm a little tired after last night's show, but I am pumped and ready to go for today's and pretty excited to see who we're going to get to interview.
Yeah, we had some pretty good ones last night and night one, some great rides. Overall, great performance. But before we get into any of that, let's hear a quick word from our friends at Whataburger.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
All right, Tessa, let's get right into it. Day one at the San Angelo Rodeo was an action-packed performance, number one. We had some great rides from a lot of great cowboys and cowgirls, but specifically, it was kind of a night for the upper-comers and the young guys in the saddle bronc, right? Jake Finley posted an 84.5 after a bunch of riders had been in the 70s, high 70s. I think we had an 80-point ride, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But then Finley got up there and put up an 84.5. I think that I'm not the only one here, but I thought that score was going to hold. We were already planned to look for him, to grab him for an interview. But, then Thane Elshear got up there and he did an 85.5, right? So he's a young guy. He's 20, so I don't think anyone quite expected that out of him. But, he is number one in the rodeo right now, and that was saddle bronc.
He is, and you would think that for an opening night, 84.5 would have held the scoreboard, but Thane, he got up there and he gave it his all, and I don't think many people expected him to ride it that hard and have the winning score. I mean, 85.5 is going to be a hard one to beat.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And especially to see him come back with the bulls, I don't think people were expecting to get that out of him. But then going into bareback, Cade Saunier had the lead with an 84 tonight, followed by Orin Larsen, a Canadian cowboy, with an 83.5. I actually got the opportunity to interview that Canadian cowboy, and we'll get right into that.
Hey y'all, it's Tessa. I'm here with Orin Larsen from Manitoba, Canada. You got an 83.5 point ride on Buffalo Gypsy tonight. How are you feeling about that? You feeling pretty good about your finals?
I think my chances for the finals are pretty slim. This is a pretty tough rodeo to get into the short round in that regard. So we're hopeful for 83.5, but we'll just take it how it is.
What sets bareback riding apart from saddleback as far as training goes?
Bareback riding is more physically demanding sport compared to the bronc riding. You take more of a beating in the bareback riding, so our workout regimen's a little bit different than a bronc rider or a bull rider for that regard. So I think it's tougher than the rest, but that's just my opinion.
I think so too. I'm going to stand with you on that one. What got you into bareback?
Just something I wanted to do as a little kid. I rode bulls and calves, and every story, everybody else's story. And then I wanted to beat my brother one day, and wanted to have a friendly competition with him. So ended up in rodeoing, and bareback riding just kind of got sprung on me. And
so you're huge in the world right now, and we have your brother to thank for it?
You got more than my brother, trust me. I got an army of people I need to thank for that.
Yeah, no, I would bet.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Professionally since 2011. So
if you were to give any advice to anyone who wanted to get into the sport, what would you tell them?
It's not going to come overnight, but things can change like it feels like it. But it can change overnight, but it just won't happen that way.
Okay.
Just don't be afraid to try it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Orin.
You bet.
Have a good night.
It's a great interview there from that Canadian cowboy, and thanks for getting that one, Tessa. Had a little bit of trouble with the auto. We were trying something new, but we got that fixed. But remember, all of our bareback and saddle bronc coverage this year is brought to you by Uber Eats. Now, hungry? Get your favorite meals delivered fast with Uber Eats. From local spots to big-name restaurants, order in just a few taps. Real-time tracking, no guesswork. Uber Eats, the food you want delivered when you want it. You can download Uber Eats on the App Store or on the Google Play Store. Moving on.
Let's go ahead and get into some of those cowgirls. Ryan, tell us a little bit about the barrel racers and what you saw tonight.
So we had a couple of blazing runs tonight. The speed was the name of the game. We had several ladies post in that top three. Now, of course, some of them did that first round over at the ASU complex across the way there. But as of the ladies who performed in the Coliseum on night one, Julia Plord posted a 14.32, and Latricia Duke actually got a 14.34. Now, these ladies were actually really pushing that envelope too, because we also had several barrel racers knock over barrels, and you kind of tell that like when there's been a couple of fast times already, it's like they'll push that envelope. Like I don't know, like what would your strategy be in barrel racing like that?
To be quite frank, the runs that those girls do, I don't think I could do it. My strategy would just be, make a left, make a right, go straight, and try my darn best out there. I don't think I couldn't get close to these girls' scores.
Right.
They do a phenomenal job.
Well, and I feel like it's like that in a bunch of events. Once you see a couple fast times in front of you, it's like, now I'm willing to take more chances. And
I think
sometimes they can come back and bite you.
I think it's definitely 50-50. You see some people see that and they're like, okay, got to get my head in the game, got to get going with it. And some people see that and they're like, oh, well, what are the odds I beat that? And then you start to see a lot of confidence in these young men and women start to fade and fall down because they just don't. And that's where we get these knocked over barrels.
Right. Well, and it's not over, like for some of these ladies, like if they finish the race in a decent enough time, even if they knocked over a barrel, they're not completely out of it yet, but it's going to be hard to recover.
It will definitely be hard to recover.
But yeah, so like I said, fast times tonight. But remember, all of our barrel racing coverage this year is brought to you by Texas Angels Boutique. And moving right along into the crowd favorite, the mutton busting. Tessa, I'll let you take this one.
The mutton busting definitely is the crowd favorite. It's going to be one of my favorites. Tonight we saw a lot of great rides and a lot of, unfortunately, sour faces. Some of them were doing it.
There's a couple crying kids.
There were a couple kids who they were darn cute though. They were giving it their all and they were holding on for dear life. And I got an interview with Miss Hazel Lee. She won tonight's mutton busting with a 95-point ride, which is phenomenal for for a little girl like that.
San Angelo girl too.
She is from San Angelo. She is, and she's 6 years old. She was certainly very nervous about the interview. She had to do it with her daddy, and they were saying that they were practicing in the living room for a good while before the rodeo, trying to get her.
Her dad wanted to make sure she was ready.
Yeah, they were getting her ready for this, and it sure the heck paid off.
And it was a cute interview, so let's go ahead and get to that. Tessa interviewed Miss Hazel after her win.
Hey everyone, it's Tessa. I'm here with Hazel Lee from San Angelo, Texas. She won our mutton busting tonight with a 95-point ride. How you feeling, Hazel?
Good.
How old are you?
6.
You're 6? What got you to mutton busting? Did Mama make you do it?
No, I think my dad and my mom.
Your dad and Mom made you do it. Is this your first year?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I was kind of scared, but
Oh, really? You want to be a cowgirl when you grow up? What do you want to do?
ride horses.
Ride horses? You gonna be a barrel racer? Yeah? Good luck, Dad. That's a lot of money. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Hazel.
Well,
This has been Hazel Lee with Mutton Button, brought to you by Sonora Bank. You did so good.
All of this year's mutton busting is brought to you by Sonora Bank.
Yeah, and straight into the bulls. So if we had a bunch of great rides in the mutton busting, we did not have that in the bull riding.
You know what? They tried their best out there, and I couldn't hold on like
Right.
that. But we got some close ones.
So
But-
the Cowboys went 0 for 10. It was basically a slaughter. Bulls 10, Cowboys 0, right?
I will say that we had a lot of bulls out there that were 91% buck-off rates.
Oh, yeah.
Or like 9-to-1 ratios.
There was a
10 to
couple
1 now, but
32 and, 2s.
yeah,
There was a 23 and 1.
the odds were not in these Cowboys' favor, but they gave it their all.
Yeah. Specifically in the no qualified rides, the best ride was by Trey Kimsey. He was actually the featured ride tonight. His bull fell down. He got a re-ride. And after everyone was already leaving the arena, the rodeo was technically over. All the hardcore fans stayed, and he posted a 7.74. He was so close, right?
He was close.
Like he just off, just a quarter of a second off that 8-second mark. But yeah, he also got bucked off. But like we gotta have better luck moving forward, right?
Bull riding is one of those things that where you're going to have a lot of no times. It's just so hard on those Cowboys.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like we were saying in the first pre-show. It's almost like saddle bronc And bareback is more of like an art form, especially with like the form to stay on the horse. But bulls, it's just you hang on for dear life.
You hang on for dear life.
And like if the bull turns into the cowboy's hand at all,
you're done.
You're done.
You can't beat a 2,000-pound animal like that.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we get better luck. But like I said, the Cowboys went 0 for 10. Bulls win in a landslide on night 1. Hopefully headed into this afternoon we will get different results. But with that, we did catch up with a cowboy who did ride tonight. He was an Australian cowboy, Jacob Carige. We kind of just wanted to get his perspective and be positive. And let's just go into that. Tessa, you interviewed him. Let's get straight into that.
Hey y'all, it's Tessa. I'm here with Jacob Carige. You pulled Captain Hook, and before you got on, this was a 9-1 bull, and unfortunately now he's 10-1. How were you feeling? Did you think you had him? Did you think you had against him, or?
Yeah, I didn't know much about him. I seen one video. I thought he was good. I thought he should ride good. I didn't make the most of it, but that's cool riding.
That's okay. You did. You gave it your all. You gave it your best, and that's what matters out here, especially being on a bull. I want to know, how padded are the helmets?
Not really.
They're
like,
not. So you're not very
you feel
protected out there.
everything, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What got you into bull riding?
Shoot, I was about 9 years old back in Australia, and there was a PBR in my hometown. My parents took me. I wanted to get on a calf. They took me next week to get on some calves and some steers and stuff, and I fell in love with it and just carried on over to here.
What does the San Angelo Rodeo mean to you? I mean, I know you're from Australia, so you came quite a long way to perform.
Yeah, it's big. Like these Texas swing rodeos, they're good. Good chance to get a lot of money on before the summer and help get into them big rodeos.
Awesome. If you had any advice to give to anyone getting into the field, what would you tell them?
Just go at it. Don't quit. Put your all into it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome, y'all. That was Jacob Carige with Bull Riding, brought to you by Alpha Paving.
Jacob Carige was one of those cowboys that just got, the odds were not in his favor. He was on Captain Hook, who was a 9-1 bull. He'd bucked off 9 cowboys and had one ride him. Now he's a 10-1 bull. With that being said, Trey Kimsey did promise me, I did catch up with him after his re-ride, and he did promise an interview during the Extreme Bulls.
So that's something to look forward to, because Trey Kimsey, he's a champion. He's won the San Angelo Rodeo before. I can't remember, but he might have actually won the cinch shootout at some point too. But all I know is he's a pro's pro. Like he's been doing this for a long time, and look forward to that interview because it's going to be a good one. But remember, all of our bull riding coverage this year at the 93rd Annual San Angelo Rodeo is brought to you by Alpha Paving. Let's move right along and check up on the leaderboards through performance number 1, headed into performance number 2. Now on to scores. And the bull riders, we just talked about this. No qualified rides. Hopefully we get one in the matinee or tonight in the evening show. On to the barebacks. Here's the top 5. In first place, we have Kate Saunier, posted an 84. Orin Larsen, the Canadian cowboy, at 83.5. Richmond Champion posted an 80, and Brent Williams is in 4th, 70. There are no other qualified rides. In the saddle bronc, here's the top 5 here. Thane L. Shear posted an 85.5. He just beat out Jake Finley, who had an 84.5. Ira Dickinson came in 3rd with an 80. Tegan Smith posted 79.5, and Carson Bingham came in 5th with 79. In 6th place, we have Skinny Parsons. Man, what a name. He posted a 78. In 7th, we have Coleman Schaubetter. He posted a 76. Spencer Wright, yes, one of those Wrights. He posted a 75. And in 9th, we have Sawyer Erickson. He posted a 66. No other qualified riders to fill that 10th spot. On to the barrel racers. We had Julie Plord, who posted the top time tonight with 14.32. Latricia Duke posted a 14.34. Stephanie Fryer came in at 14.52. Chelsea Moore posted a 19.68. And Natalie Bland's in 5th with a 24.5. In the average, Julie Plord leads all riders with a 30.31. In 2nd, we have Tiffany Luan with a 30.37. Chelsea Moore's in 3rd with a 35.75. Kylie Kay there is in 4th with 35.77. And in 5th, we have Natalie Bland with a 41.14. In the steer wrestling, we have Winston McGraw. He leads with a 3.5. In second, we have Bridger Chambers with a 3.6. Teal Sykes came in third with a 3.7, and he's tied with Brandon Harrison, who also posted 3.7. In fifth, we have Colton Leach from Chico, Texas. He posted a 3.8. Leading the average is Bridger Anderson. He's 7.5 on 2. Hunter Cures in second with 7.7 seconds. Cody Devers has an 8.4 seconds. Landris White posted an 8.5 seconds. And Emma Elder is posted an 8.7 after 2. Now in the tie-down, Cason Dyer, he's in first with 7.4 seconds. Brody Clemens is tied with a 7.7 with Tyson Durfee. He also had a 7.7. Britt Bedke, he posted an 8.2, and then Sam Lewis and Dean Hollian are tied for fifth with an 8.4. On the 2-run time, we have Chance Fleming. He leads with 17.1 seconds. Garrett Jacobs, he has 17.3. In third, we have Cody Mahaffey. He posted a 17.6 on 2, and then Andrew Burks, he's in fourth with a 9.2 second. That's 1 run. And then in fifth, Trent McDonald, he has an 18.2 second on 2. Top 5 of team ropers here. We got the duo of Trenery and Yquo with an 8.7 on 2 runs. Buckaloo and Harrison posted a 9.1. Oldfield and West posted a 9.2, and they're tied with Whites and Walker, who also had that 9.2. And then finally, Esquiza and Woodard posted a 9.6. Finally, in the women's breakaway, we got Jordy Edens, 4.1 seconds on 2 runs. In second place, we got Shaylee King, who has a 4.4. Chrissy Stewart in third with a 4.8. Sawyer Gilbert with a 4.9. And then rounding out the top 5 is Ellie Meeks with a 5.1.
3D's Plumbing has served the Concho Valley with excellence for over 3 decades. Their team of highly skilled plumbers is well equipped to handle everything from routine maintenance to complex emergency repairs. 3D's Plumbing understands that your home's comfort and safety depend on a well-functioning plumbing system, and they're here to ensure it runs smoothly. When you choose 3D's, you're not just hiring plumbers. You're welcoming a team of experts into your home who genuinely care about your peace of mind. Remember, one call does it all. Thank you, San Angelo.
We are certainly stoked for today's shows. They are going to be at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. There's going to be some bigger names at this show, or at these shows, and then some local names that are crowd favorites at the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo. Let's start with the bigger names. We're going to see Rocker Steiner tonight. Mm-hmm. We talked about him in yesterday's pre-show. He is a controversial name in the rodeo industry. You either love that kid or you hate him. He speaks with a mind of his own. He doesn't really care what others have to say. And his NFR fines can prove that.
Yeah, he does get fined a lot, doesn't he?
He certainly does. And then we've got one of his buddies, Cole Franks. He is pretty good. I believe he just graduated from Clarendon College, where he was on the rodeo team. Mm-hmm. He's going to be pretty good. And then we've got Stetson Jorgensen. He's going to be in steer wrestling. That's a pretty decent name. Rusty Wright is going to be with us for Saddle Bronc. And then we've got the Harris brothers, Ty and Joel.
Now, that's something that I know San Angelo is looking forward to. We love supporting Ty and Joel Harris. But that's all to come in the matinee and the evening performance. But, guys, that is the pre-show. Previewing, performance 2 and 3. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.